Hello, and welcome to your weekly devotion. These devotions are taken from the book Challenge, Daily Devotions for the Common Christian. Available at Amazon in paperback and for Kindle. I'll leave the link in the description. The book is a daily devotional for 6 days of the week, leaving the 7th for your own church services or spiritual sessions. I'll be reading in accordance with the day of the year, which means for now I'll only be reading on the 7th day. For example, today is the 184th day of the year, therefore I'll be reading day 184. So day 184. We do not dare to classify or compare ourselves with some who commend themselves. When they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. 2 Corinthians 10:12. Comparison can be a dangerous activity. Some would say it's natural for us to compare ourselves with other people. I would agree. It is the nature of sin that causes us to compare our abilities or physical and mental attributes to others. Sometimes we compare to those who are seemingly less talented in order to feel good about ourselves. Other times the comparison is those who appear superior in the mistaken hope that we would strive to better ourselves. Usually what happens is depression plants a seed. Depression often leads to and is caused by envy. We want what they want, whatever they have, be it money, looks, talent, family, or any of 1,000 different things. It's not that those things are needed, but wanted. Even worse is when we start to tally the tolls between us and those who are boastful about themselves. They have no standard except themselves, and their aim is to make others feel small so that they can feel large and important. When we listen to their stories and paint grandiose pictures of what we think their life is like, we find ourselves hungry for more stuff, and satisfaction gets harder to obtain. Instead, we need to allow ourselves to be led by the Spirit in our actions and our desires. When we stop and listen to what God has to say about our lives, we find the comparison chart much more stable. God doesn't change with the fashions or the seasons. He is constant, and as such should be our only basis of comparison. We will never be gods, nor on this earth will we ever be perfect. All the same, our striving to please God by doing His will has a tremendous impact on our perception of ourselves. We are no longer focused on the I wants, and are instead drawn to the they needs. The two mistakes that are easy to avoid are comparing ourselves with the world and comparing ourselves to ourselves. Either one will rot our hearts and corrupt our minds. Striving to do better is admirable and encouraged, but not at the cost of our understanding of God's perception. What kinds of people do you find yourself comparing your life to? Me, I find myself comparing myself to all kinds of different people, whether they be podcasters, writers, anything that I'm trying to do and trying to make a living at. I compare myself to some of the more successful people, and I'm usually pretty much dismayed at where I'm at. How many times have you thought that so-and-so has such a great life? Oh, I couldn't even put a number on it. I get mad every time I think about it because I'm thinking, why can't I succeed as easily as these other people are? No matter how hard I try or what I put in, or maybe I can't put in. I don't know. Comparison leads to ill contention. How have you experienced that firsthand? In my own life, I experienced that in frustration. It comes out in the form of frustration. I get mad at God for not giving me the easy life like He seems to give other people. Why can't I be a success? These people are worse than I am. Why are they successful and not me? And I'm ill-content. I'm not happy with it. What is your standard for excellence based on? Ooh. See, I know that the right answer should be my standard for excellence is how am I pleasing God? But the very, very sinful human nature of me, my standard for excellence is constantly changing depending on my emotional state at the time. So when I'm comparing myself to other people in this world, my comparison standards keep changing, and it's never the same, and it's always disheartening. In case you haven't noticed, the questions are part of the devotional and the answers are my own interjections. I may answer all the questions when I read the devotionals, I may not. We'll see. But that has been the daily devotion for the common Christian, day 184, which today is July 3rd. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you do, tune in next week. Well, I'll read the next week's devotional entry. Thank you, and God bless.